And just like that, they buy it. They eat it up. You pander to them. You thank them. I mean, really, people, I thought you were a little bit smarter than that. I mean, it's just so easy to say the name of the city. You cheer.
Hey, Stephanie, Stephanie,
you cheer. I mean, just come on.
Welcome to the A Show.
Hello, and welcome back to the A Show with Justin and Mills. I sound like terrible right now, Mills.
You sound fine. Relax.
Currently working through the flu, of course.
In the summer, gross.
In the summer, I know. The worst thing ever. I started feeling bad on Sunday, and then I continued to push myself through the next 2 days.
Which is never a good idea.
Never a good idea. I had to literally have a verbal talking to by my significant other to get me to stop. So I've stopped, and I'm here.
But yeah, except for now, when we're doing a whole hour podcast about professional wrestling. But you know what?
She's okay with this. She's okay with this.
That's fine. That's fine. I could have called up Greg. I could have, you could have done that. But you know what? I appreciate it. I appreciate you battling through whatever sickness, your flu, your summer flu. I don't know how that happens.
I blame this shit on California weather. It was 75 degrees last week. Then it hit 65, 61. And, 60 degrees out here is, like, very different than other places. It's, like, might as well be 50-something. It's very different. So, yeah, it's I'm sick.
Well, you know what? Either way, I'm sure everyone hopes you get better, but we still will have plenty of fun talking professional wrestling over the last week. I mean, we've been busy all week with the RNC Decade stuff, which is now you can, if you follow RNC Radio Live, you can see all the banter, all of it. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything regarding the RNC Decade.
People are very upset about these lists, and I love it.
It's music is subjective. I learned that when we were making the list, and it was World War III. But it is what it is. But our RNC Decade, so we haven't had a full time to actually plan out this show. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the good old wing ding wing. And
we're gonna call it in the ring.
We're gonna call it in the ring. We legitimately have not planned out anything from the show, but guess what? This is the 85th episode of the A Show. I think we've got this down pat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried. We've been so busy with RNC Decade stuff. We have a tremendous and actually it's so funny that we can't even talk about this on the Decade show because it was within the moment, but our Decade show is a huge show that's going to come out on the same at the same time as this episode comes out, and we put so much into that show that we almost lost.
I mean, we almost lost that show. I think you know what? I think it was karma. I think this and your sickness is karma for calling everyone nerds on Twitter, because you have been the heat-seeking missile as of late. In regards to anyone who loves, breathes, or appreciates AEW, apparently you're fishing for a job. By the way, that's what I've heard.
That's so crazy that I apparently want to work for WWE so badly. That's the weakest that's such an elementary comeback as well, where it's all I was doing, it was a clear troll. But it's they took it so serious. But it was a troll, but there was some truth behind it. I don't even know what they got mad at, to be honest with you.
Sure.
But, somebody threatened to fight me, and I was like, "Is this 2013 again?"
Listen, this can't be 2013 because that type of action is not allowed on Twitter anymore. Like, you legitimately get suspended and or banned if you're threatening to fight somebody. This isn't like, what was it, Temecula or whatever, like where people fighting over Kobe stats. Like, this isn't that era of Twitter anymore. Like, you can definitely get banned. So I would say, you know what? I would say choose your words wisely.
But here's my thing though. I didn't threaten anybody. All I did
of course not. We're smarter than that.
I was just tweeting, and then it was just like, oh, how much did Triple H? I was just like, here. I think the tweet in question was, wow, there is black champions on both main roster and NXT. Was that false? Was that false?
No, there's nothing false about it.
Okay, so like, I said that, and people were like, well, wow, you want a job, bro? I'm like, for speaking the truth, I was like, listen, I would never want to work at WWE anyway. Like, it's just, that's not what I want to do. Like, I would never work for somewhere where like my passion could potentially be extinguished. Like, it's the one thing that I have outside of my actual job that I'm allowed to enjoy.
Right.
So I'm gonna do it. But it was just a weird weekend. I guess that is karma, but that's fine.
I mean, you take it. You take it on the chin. We take it. We all take it on the chin. But in regards to this week, man, I think the only thing, there hasn't been much news this week. I think probably the most interesting thing was me waking up this morning and seeing all these Best of the Super Junior 2019 gifts.
Yeah. I have not watched the show yet. I've heard that it was a really good show.
I haven't watched it either because I had no idea it was on. But luckily in the future, that will no longer be an issue. I want to, you know what? I'll tell you off air about why that won't be an issue. But that won't be an issue. It's somewhere in the hopefully near future. But New Japan Best of the Super Juniors 2019, and a major headline come out of it is the reintroduction to Jon Moxley.
I think his gear is fucking awful. Let me just start off by saying that.
I mean, he don't want to wear pants anymore, man. He's probably wearing the stuff he wore under his entire Dean Ambrose outfit.
That's fine.
The entire time.
That's cool. That's all right.
He walked in looking like Becky Lynch.
He walked in looking like a high school wrestler. I was like, where's the violence at, bro? Like, what is this shit? I mean, he looked great. He looked in shape. From what I've seen, I've heard the match was great. I've heard the main event is even more spectacular between Will Ospreay and Shingo. But I am very much looking forward to it. I think I'm going to watch it tonight, to be honest with you. I have a bunch of stuff to watch for late fees, but I'm going to try and squeeze that in.
Yeah, might as well watch it tonight. Listen, Jon Moxley came in first night on the job, defeated former United States champion Juice Robinson, who has the new fresh haircut, for the IWGP United States Championship. That is the most fluent I will ever sound talking about New Japan. I promise you.
I love it.
I didn't get to see the match. He debuted a new version of the Dirty Deeds. He has a kind of a new swagger to him. How do you feel about Dean Ambrose representing New Japan as United States champion moving forward, especially with this AEW thing where they don't have any sort of contractual agreement to like use each other's talent, and et cetera, et cetera. How do you feel about, do you think this could be a long-standing thing, short-standing thing?
I think that they put the belt on him to kind of signify that he's probably going to be in the G1 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how the schedules work out. I don't know if he'll be able to do all out in that. I think he will be able to. I don't have the schedule on hand right now, but
sure.
I think that's the kind of signify that he probably more than likely will be in the G1 this year, which is pretty exciting to me. I think that I think we even predicted it that he might go to New Japan. I think you were probably the only one that predicted AEW. But I was like, New Japan seems like the natural place for him. They'll give him a belt off the bat. I honestly see him being the IWGP Heavyweight Champion by next year.
Really? The IWGP Heavyweight Champion?
Yeah, I think he'll be.
Interesting.
They always love to their Western talent just to get more eyes on the product. Like Dean Ambrose, is the biggest prospect right now, just like AJ Styles was 3 years ago. Like it makes money sense for him to be that, for them to break back into the US scene. I don't know how that will work with AEW though, however, because it's like if they decide to do that, or if they could do that, like Dean Ambrose isn't going to be losing on TNT. You know, like he's not going to be losing an AEW event. So, but I mean, I can see them wanting to do that. I think it would be a great idea for them to do that.
We also got a little bit of word. It was during the NXT show, so I think it kind of flew under the radar. I'm just scrolling back through news. Shout out to the dailysmark.com. I'm just scrolling through news. Sushi Aoki,
yes,
passed away at 41. It was announced kind of during the NXT Takeover show, so I don't think a lot of people, or at least during Raw or something, during the major wrestling event, it kind of was announced. He was the current junior champion for. Geez, hold on, let me pull it back up.
Oh man, don't fuck it up.
No. He was the current AJPW. All right. Well, you know what? I had my run. I had a good run. He was the current AJPW junior heavyweight champion, and he was scheduled to have another match June 18th. He unfortunately passed away. It was a motorcycle accident. Our condolences to his family and everybody who's affected by this. A couple people tweeted about it. Just wanted to, a loss in the wrestling world is a loss for everybody, I think, especially for these performers who put their lives on the lines and things. And, how he was just kind of, taken out, seemingly, during the active point in his career. So,
Yeah. I think that, a lot. He obviously touched a lot of people. You have people from Aleister Black all the way to, of course, Chris Hero, or Cassius Ohno. I'm sorry. Tweeting about how much he meant to them, and I think it's a huge loss for the Japanese pro wrestling community. Like it's he was a huge figure there. A lot of people consider him like their big brother. Whenever they would go over there, he'd be the most welcoming and kind of open person there for them to talk to and speak to and learn things from. And I've seen a couple of his matches, and I think he was also a tremendous talent. And once again, our condolences go out to his family. Like I think this is a huge loss for Japanese wrestling.
100%. We also have some other. This is all coming off the top of the dome. I haven't written down anything.
Hey,
actually, we should wrap up the New Japan's Best of the Super Junior show because Will Ospreay defeated the undefeated Shingo Takagi.
Yeah, Takagi. Yes.
Damn, I'm lit. In the Battle of the Super Juniors, how do you feel like the future of Will Ospreay in New Japan Pro Wrestling is? I mean, he had a very spirited post-match interview, and I think he said, it was like, listen, the Bucks are gone, AJ's gone, Ricochet's gone, everybody's gone, and I'm the only one left. So I'm going to step up to the plate and, try my best to deliver and make a name for myself. How do you feel about the future of Will Ospreay? Do you feel like he's someone that the company could invest in full time?
Yes, I think that moving him up to heavyweight was a little premature when they did that last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's perfect where he is. They drew so many great houses over the past month with this Battle of the Super Juniors with him at the top. He needs to carry that division, especially with Hiromu Takahashi out and a lot of people, moving out of the New Japan scene. I think that he's the perfect person to be there. Regardless of what you think about the guy's work rate and how he, lays out matches, like he's one of the biggest stars that they have right now.
Yeah.
And I think that it just only makes sense that they kind of build the division around him at this point. Because they also lost Kushida. It's
right, 100%. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are just gone, and you know what? You think, considering this kind of new era of New Japan that we're coming upon. I feel like it could be an opportunity for a lot of people to sort of step up to the plate. A lot of people,
and you see it's already happening. I mean, you have Jon Moxley, of course, coming in. You have Switchblade and really, high profile matches like he had with Tanahashi during the show. Mm-hmm. And they're building around them. I just worry that they are focusing. I always worry about their focus on Western talent, and the Moxley thing. Like I said earlier, it could get really hairy if AEW starts up and New Japan's like, I don't want them to lose because they don't have they don't have a relationship, and New Japan doesn't want one with AEW. So it's going to be really tricky as it goes on.
100%. Congratulations to Will Ospreay for winning Battle of the Super Juniors 2019. we'll see where that kind of takes him in his career. We also have a bit of news, a recurring news. We're going to do hashtag Sasha Banks Watch right now.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God. She is live. She is back. She's in color. And I think that's probably the most notable thing is now that she's posting pictures of herself in color. And she seems very much so happier than she was before. There's been rumors that she had a meeting with, the WWE at some point over the last week, maybe last week and a half.
And it was positive.
It was a positive.
Not much there.
I'm trying to figure out if I was to sort of book when we get Sasha Banks back. Would you say SummerSlam is a good deal?
I think they want her on TV more. But they want her on TV probably sooner than later. I'd say by the July pay-per-view, whatever that is. I don't know what it is because we have Stomping Grounds.
We have Stomping Grounds, baby. I don't know what that is.
I think that, obviously there aren't going to be many female talents traveling with them to Saudi Arabia, so we shouldn't be expecting it, now anytime soon. But I do think it's imminent. I think that she's playing up to the marks right now on social media.
I think so too. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of it. This has been probably, this is the best story that she's had, and God knows, and it's the story that she's created, right? Like she's, going through sadness, and she's documenting it throughout all social media, even not intentionally. Well, I think intentionally. I'm not going to be. I don't think it's. I don't think she's like doing this organically. I think this is all, premeditated and things like that, especially her liking tweets of other, from other wrestlers from other companies and asking them, let's wrestle, and et cetera, et cetera. But you know what? She has black hair. The black hair it's different. I'm wondering if she'll carry that over to the E. I feel like she probably won't.
I again, like as these Sasha Banks watches goes on, it's starting to, we're like literally arguing that arguing semantics here. It's like she changed her hair again. I think this is just a long. Remember when Leslie Nielsen did the "Where's the Undertaker" thing back in the day?
Yes.
This is what it's seeming like now. I think they could really make a lot of like people like really excited and happy for it if they started doing those type of vignettes.
I think so too. I think we start. I don't even know what they're gonna do. WWE is in such a weird place creatively right now. It could really end up being anything. She could just show up. She can be, but considering the sort of magnitude of the star that Sasha Banks is, reportedly how long that she has left on her contract, it doesn't seem like she's going anywhere anytime soon. To be honest with you. Let's see, rolling through some other news. Is there anything interesting that you felt over the last week that you'd like to talk about? Anything you've heard? Anything you've jabbed at?
Did you watch the Triple H 24 or Chronicle?
Yes, I did.
What an interesting show.
It's it's to see kind of and to see kind of how this sort of turned out. And how it's really like we both know a lot about sort of the happenings in the music industry. I like to liken it as like Triple H kind of owning his own independent label, right? Yeah. And sort of building the talent and building the roster and making people fall in love with it, and then making people and sort of being on the inside and sort of, cultivating all of this talent that's to the next level. You really kind of see how NXT is really his baby. Right. And how much he's involved with a lot of happenings in WWE. I couldn't think of, knowing Triple H from the 90s and just seeing him standing in front of a crowd of business investors and going through all this entire thing. It looks friggin' surreal.
Yeah, it's very surreal. And like the travel that this man had from coast to coast.
Oh my God. Going to what's his favorite? Rick Rubin's Osh Bagosh, or whatever the hell he calls it, Shangri-La. Traveling there for what? I don't know, but maybe Rick Rubin just invited him out. Maybe Rick Rubin listens to this show and he can invite us out to the Shangri-La. Who knows?
I hope he does. If he does listen to it, I need him to stop making alt-right tweets and favoriting alt-right accounts. But yeah,
that would be a start. Yes, that would be a start in order to get on this podcast, of course. But
But I watched that after and we can't really like go too deep into Takeover because we are guests on the call up this week.
That's my sorry, I've been watching anime.
That's your Goku.
I've been watching a lot of Dragon Ball. Shout out to the Lookout as well.
I love calling it in the ring, man. It's great. But yeah, I watched it after NXT Takeover, which is an amazing show. How do you feel about the people like comparing it to Double or Nothing? It was a better show.
It was a better show than Double or Nothing, to be honest with you. But Double or Nothing had great moments. Don't get me wrong, and I think probably it will be remembered more than this show, considering it's the first inaugural show. But NXT Takeover was just incredible. I mean, we gush over it. I still have not seen to this day Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong because I haven't had the time yet. I've been, we've been doing the RNC Decade thing. I've been doing other things. Like I've been jumping around, moving around, doing a lot of things. I need to actually sit down and watch it. It'll probably won't happen until the work week is over, to be honest with you. But I want to watch it. Everyone's so gushing about it, but we gush about the championship matches that happen on this thing, and it's just like even when we think NXT is out, here they go again, right?
Yeah, we always count them out, and they always tell us sit your ass down.
Easily. Oh my god. Let's see. What else do we got here? What is on the dirt sheets? Not much on the dirt sheets. There's a Ronda Rousey thing I didn't watch.
I didn't watch that shit either.
I'm going to watch it eventually, but I didn't feel like it was must viewing after Monday Night Raw, to be honest with you. There is news. Okay, boom. So, I mean, this would be a great transition into probably the Super Showdown show. Yes. Reports, Renee Young, Natalya, Alexa Bliss are on their way to Saudi Arabia.
I'd like to see what people say about that. But, the people that have the talking... Well, I mean, the talking points are obviously going to change. The goalposts are going to change. I still think it's stupid that they're going to Saudi Arabia in the first place, especially after the shit with the journalists. And,
yes.
Now I think today, like, they, the U.S. figured out that they were hoarding missiles or something like that I saw earlier. I was just like, wow, every single time they're about to go to Saudi Arabia, there's some bullshit happening. But, if they do get a match called, I also saw a report saying that Nia Jax was supposed to actually be competing in Saudi Arabia. They would have been amazed. I don't think Saudi Arabia has ever seen anything like Nia Jax.
No, of course not. A big, strong, powerful.
Could probably whip their ass.
Probably. I think it's interesting that they go. I think it's interesting they said Natalya. I feel like Natalya. I don't know if she volunteers or they just volunteer her for her, but
she's the safest pick. I mean, that's somebody that knows the style and already has an outfit that pretty much covers everything that she has on.
I mean, she probably gonna have to wear another sweater, but yeah. But yeah,
Nia for sure though.
Nia for sure is cover up everything, of course. Yeah. Alexa Bliss probably gonna have to wear whatever she wore in the Middle East a couple years ago when she fought Sasha Banks.
That Power Ranger fit that they
She was like, "Listen, dust that off, come through." Renee Young will also be there, which considering it's a female announcer for it. It's promising that maybe we'll get a women's match.
I hope so, but if they don't announce it, you already know people are gonna be like, "I can't believe they didn't announce it." And I'm just like, bro, like the fact that they're over there, I mean, it's showing a little bit of progress. Let's talk about the card. Like,
yeah, let's talk about Super Showdown, of course.
Are we gonna be watching this?
All right, so it's a really good card, man.
It's a really good card.
It's really good. Like, how it's like, oh my God. There's some things like I can't do. The problematic things where I'm just like, okay, maybe it's a varying level of problematic where I'm just like, okay, maybe I indulge in this and maybe I don't. Like, I still listen to Chris Brown music, right? But
yeah, wow. Here we go.
But I won't listen to R. Kelly at all, period, ever in my life. Like, it makes my stomach turn.
Yeah, no, I mean, agreed. I mean, I stopped listening to him years ago, though.
This card, it's hard because it's like there's nothing too problematic about the WWE. It's just the decision that they've made to continue going here. But it's really because they're locked into this deal for the
No,
bag.
hey, don't agree with this. They're gonna think we're trying to get a job.
Oh, relax. I would take the job. I'm closer than you.
Yeah, go ahead and take the job, bro.
Oh my God. Of course, right? Wouldn't I? Just start booking the show, booking the territory. Imagine the Raws, right?
No, I cannot imagine Mills writing 120 minutes of television or whatever, 180 minutes of television.
You would know immediately. You would watch the show and you'd be like, this fucker wrote that shit. I know he did.
Finn Balor get squashed.
It's like, no, Finn Balor's going to win the title tonight and then lose it next week. Like, Jesus. It is what it is. But listen, I feel like a lot of people, especially considering, last year, a lot of people, including us, did not watch the show. Didn't even bother. We just saw that Brock Lesnar tossed Braun Strowman off a cliff, and there were two bald guys wrestling two other bald guys, and
a literal probably worst show of all time contender.
I mean, probably. They also had who would determine the best in the world thing, which still goes on to this day on this pay-per-view. Listen, it's considering it's much better than I think the last card that they had.
Yeah.
Just in general, but this is star power. They've been promoting this show as good as or maybe around the same level as WrestleMania.
Maybe in the same neighborhood. Maybe around the corner from Mania. Maybe.
That is a wild promotional tactic. It's just as good as WrestleMania. I promise you. On Friday at 2 p.m. It's an interesting card. We got a lot from them promoting this card on this week's show. A lot. Just added to the show to kick off the Usos versus the Revival. But these are glorified house shows, man. These are really glorified house shows.
They really are. I mean, let's kind of just quickly run through the card. I think the Usos are going to get their win back here. I mean, it's fair. I mean, it doesn't matter. Nothing here matters except maybe the Undertaker match.
Well, so there is some sort of stipulation. Apparently, Brock Lesnar will be in Saudi Arabia. We can talk about that when we hit the main shows this week. But there's a potential for a title change somewhere, and a lot of people don't know where to fully predict it because we're wrestling fans and we're so uneasy, and we're also black and uneasy about good things happening to us.
We're black, nothing. There's always like a sense of
what's the catch? Like, okay, you said you cashing in on who?
Is there a white man around the corner?
Right. Like Kofi already went to Ghana, so is he going to lose the championship? Like it is, it is what it is. Let's run down in terms of running down the card. The Usos versus the Revival. We have Lars Sullivan versus Lucha House Party, which is a match that should be happening.
I think the racist is going to win.
Yeah, it seems that way. Damn. All right, so we'll get to it when we talk on the show. You got Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin in the most house showiest of matches I've ever seen in my life.
I think this ends up being a triple threat with Corbin being able to take the pinfall. I really think we're going to get Seth Brock again in Toronto. I think that's what they're building to. Mm-hmm. But I think Baron's just kind of he is the
buffer.
He's the buffer because Brock's not going to show up every single week. I do think we're getting that match again, but I do think that there will be like a triple threat type of gimmick, and Seth will narrowly escape with the title because he pins Baron or something like that.
Sounds good. Also, we have Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. A match that's been weeks in the making of Dolph Ziggler screaming and exclaiming and these things that he's done and the things that he hasn't gotten despite all the things that he's done.
Should be a good match.
Should be a good match. Should be,
I don't see Kofi losing here. I don't see Kofi losing till at least Toronto.
I don't see Kofi losing. Yeah, because my God, what a role he's been on. And possibly the most promoted match on this card. I mean, you talk about Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown. Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon.
They're gonna pull out all of the fuck shit for this match.
I love it. It's gonna, to me, this is this is when you get to a certain point in your career when you're having matches with the McMahons, and it's just, you know, you get all the toys, you get all the cool stuff. It'll be an interesting time. I think, you know, I don't know who wins this match. Roman Reigns? They're not really about in Saudi Arabia. Are they really about sending fans home questioning like what's going on here?
I don't think Shane wins this. Roman's been undefeated for a very long time now.
Mm-hmm.
I think they continue that. I see Lars Sullivan and Roman's future. I think that's going to be the equalizer for Shane.
Well, I think at Stomping Grounds, I think they already announced Roman Reigns' opponent.
Who was it?
I believe it is. No, actually. Oh, I'm bugging. Never mind. I thought it was what's his face? What's this guy?
Drew.
Yeah, Drew. I mean, we'll see. It's not on the Wikipedia card, so I'm just gonna assume it doesn't happen. You have the Demon Finn Balor versus Andrade.
Demon don't lose.
But
should be a great match. I do think Andrade, if they give him time on the fucking show every week, will eventually have that title. I think there's so many people that they have to get to that they literally do not have time to build anyone else. Like it's insane.
I agree.
I'll talk about this on SmackDown this week as well.
I'll agree. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley.
Bobby should win because I think he's been spectacular.
But also, I feel like Braun hasn't had a notable anything ever in like the last 9 months.
You know why? Because he sucks.
Really? Huh.
He sucks.
I think they're putting him in there's a thing where it's like he was hovering around the title for a bit, and then I don't think somebody must not like him. I don't know.
Well, there was something being said that he fucked up a move or something like that. He fucked up the Battle Royal, the Andre in Mania, and that got him a lot of heat. That was the rumor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he fucked up a spot during the Andre and then acted like it wasn't his fault.
Well,
don't you love that? Don't you love when people do that?
That'll do it. Nah, he fell off himself, man. The match of the century, the match they've been promoting, Goldberg versus The Undertaker.
That's your main event. I think we got 2 more matches before that.
Yeah, that's your main event. I mean, I'm just going on the Wikipedia card. I don't know why they put this in this order that they put it in.
Call it in the ring.
Call it in the ring.
I think this match goes for a minute. I think that Goldberg gets up from the tombstone. I think Undertaker sits up from the spear. And I think they both run into each other and explode, and nobody wins.
I feel like there's a sweaty Hell's Gate coming at some point in this match.
but real shit. Like realistically, who do you have go over here? Neither man needs it.
Yeah, they don't really need it. They should just hold hands and leave. They should walk out and hold hands and leave. That's what they should do. Goldberg, I'm going to see. I feel like The Undertaker is going to win.
You don't need to win.
Yeah, but I feel like they owe him. They dragged him all the way from StarCast for this. They had him put on some shoes and shit like that. I mean, they might as well.
They said, "Hey, we got a bigger bag for you, bro.
Listen,
we got a big bag for you."
Listen, the bag is profound. 50-man battle royal. I don't even know who's in it.
I can't call this one. Yeah, I can't call this one.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter, to be honest.
Heavy Machinery? Somebody from Heavy Machinery?
No, gotta be. It's 50 of them. Shit.
It depends on who's going. It depends on who's going. We don't know who's going.
We don't know who's going. You know what? If there's any opportunity to see the people that we poured a drink out for last week, there you go. That's the match. And you won't even watch it, Justin, so you'll never see these people.
Yeah, right.
You'll never see Nakamura anymore, man. Like,
wow. Yikes. Nakamura cool though. He good. He all right.
Yeah, he all right. I mean, you can't surf in Saudi Arabia, but I'm sure he figure out something.
It's hoes there. I'm sure he'll.
I mean, it is what it is. Triple H versus Randy Orton,
in a regular ass match.
The Wikipedia main event, according to this show. Yeah,
a regular ass match.
They're pulling some comic view shit on on Monday.
No, Randy was looking at Triple H like, nigga, this is not. Whoops. Whoop.
We call it in the ring. Call it in the ring. Keep it coming. Drop down, toe hold, hip toss.
Oh
Baby,
my
come
God.
on.
Randy was looking at Triple H like, this ain't 2009 anymore, bro.
They were about to start cracking your mama jokes, man. They were about to.
Oh my God.
I feel like that was all ad libbed. Like
That's
Triple
cool.
H, Triple H came out like, I'm just gonna cut. Like he's like, I got things to do. I got a 9 p.m. promo that I gotta cut, and then at 9:30 I gotta be back on a plane to Full Sail. Like that's how he kind of felt. That's how the energy kind of felt. It felt very lax.
Yeah. It did. I mean, he should be relaxed. I mean, Triple H he should play the baby face for everybody that like online that hates the Saudi Arabia deal, and just be like, come out like completely lackadaisical.
Who does he face next? Which big match does Triple H do next? Like all of this has been like blast from the past type of deals.
I mean, does him putting over somebody current give anyone the rub anymore?
I don't even know. I'm pretty sure they're gonna end up doing like Triple H versus Roman next, or Triple H versus like.
Nah, he's still a babyface though, so he couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's the babyface McMahon. There's two babyface McMahons and 2 heel McMahons at all times.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. What do you think? Linda will come back? Linda's not doing anything. I thought about that the other day.
Hell no, Linda too busy counting her ducats from the Republican Party, bro. That is not happening at all.
Oh
we watch trash.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
We watch trash, but I mean, this show looks good. I think if I was to watch something, I'll wait to see what people say about certain matches, and then I'll probably go back and catch them. I'm not gonna watch the whole show.
Yeah, it's on a Friday. I mean, I might sneak it on during during work or something like that. But you never know. Let's see. Let's go into the shows this week. We got some shows this week. Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night SmackDown. The regular.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I liked Raw better this week than I liked SmackDown.
I didn't like any of them, to be honest with you. I thought, I watched the entire show of Raw, and nothing except the big spot where Brock Lesnar comes out and beats the holy crap out of Seth Rollins. Nothing moved me outside of that.
I thought Ricochet Cesaro was good.
I thought it was too, I thought it was cool. I thought it was more of an exhibition thing, but it all, was an end to a meme, or end to a meme, honestly. But
can we talk about Charlotte and Lacey?
Yeah, let's talk about that. That was one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life.
They looked like they were
introduced to each other the first time.
It looked like a fight comp for World Star.
Oh my God!
Like, have you seen the fight comp with the white girls? One of them has the bat.
No,
she's hitting the girl with a bat. I think Cliff put it in the channel today. Like, there was a white girl, like she keeps hitting her with the bat, and they were like fighting so sloppy. It looked like that. Like, that was literally, I was like, Charlotte, I made you like one of my top wrestlers like of the decade.
Charlotte don't know her. I don't know you. Like, that's how I feel. Like, they know each other by virtue of proximity to one another. But in terms of in the ring, listen, it was a hard match because they're both heels. And there's not one person who can sort of get fired up and things like that, like we normally see in these Charlotte matches, where she kind of feeds off that. When the babyface fires up, she fires back.
And I don't think Lacey knows how to be a face yet.
No, I don't think she's been built. I don't think her character is built to be face. If it is, it's going to be this lame duck character. But man, that was terrible.
There was one part where like
the figure four thing.
That was terrible. I'm talking about the beginning where she tried to throw out the ring, and then she comes back and she's in like a headlock.
She was explaining the match again. She was like, "Listen, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this." No, that figure four spot had me like, "What is going on?" Like Charlotte was just like, "You supposed to kick me, girl?" Like,
imagine Becky being outside of the ring for that, like thinking like, "Damn, at least it's not me this time."
Becky's like, "I got to tweet about this shit."
Fucking crazy. Rey Mysterio relinquishing the title. How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, do it. And it's to Joe. I'm not mad at it at all. This is the first time I've ever felt like they've relinquished to another person.
It should be Joe,
because
though. He shouldn't have lost.
it should be Joe. Yeah, he shouldn't have lost. He didn't. His shoulders weren't pinned down. Nothing like the sort. They dragged it out. Crazy. Like they literally said last week, it was like, we got an announcement on the United States Championship, and then it was like, our announcement is that next week Rey Mysterio will show up and announce that he's giving up the title. I was like, really?
It was an MMG announcement. Of announcement.
Big time. But this week he did it. Yeah, this week he did it, and then Samoa Joe beat him into, stuffing.
Like, but of all the titles that gets the focus, I think this is the one that I care the least about. Like, where are the Raw tag teams at? Where are they at?
Where they at? Like Hawkins and Ryder are just sneaking.
Where the Viking experience at?
The Viking experience gone, bro. Wild card rule, man. They just gone, man.
Wild card has really ruined a lot of shit.
It's really ruined everything. Listen, you know what it hasn't ruined though?
Oh Lord,
the 24/7 title. Oof, boy, was that an unexpected delight this week? First of all, on .com, Jinder Mahal winning it and then immediately losing it.
I think they've been doing it very well. I love that R-Truth is like now a 4-time champion. I just really enjoy it. Like it's a gimmick that passes the time. I think it gets people engaged. It gets a lot of people on TV that we usually pour out a bottle for. On Raw, at least. And
especially when you got like a comical, like, I won't say comical genius, but the man is just incredible at his job. R-Truth.
I love all the twists that they're making for him too, like all the hoops they haven't jumped through.
Cesaro deciding to pull out a table from under the ring, and R-Truth is hiding on the table that he's pulling out, and oh my god, it's fantastic. And then it leans over to SmackDown this week.
With Shane making that playground ass rule, nobody can know. R-Truth can't win. Anyone else R-Truth can win.
First of all, I love that's probably the first instance I've seen like a match getting called on the phone. Like, because it makes so much sense. Like that should happen in like 2019. It's like, listen, I'm calling you. You got a match. Just letting you know, you got a match. Yeah, it probably should be more formal. Mark Carrano should come over and do something. But we ain't got time for that.
I love Mark Carrano, bro.
I love referencing Mark Carrano.
If they hire you,
I just want to say, Carrano, what are we doing tonight? That's what I want to do. That's my gimmick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that should be your job.
I mean, here we are. And then, yes, the playground rule of no one can win during this time until Elias wins, and then after Elias wins, and then R-Truth winning the title under the ring. Like, and then them having footage of him winning the title under the ring.
Spectacular. I love it. I didn't know that there was so much room under that bit. But then again, I remember like Undertaker be under there sometimes, so he has a fit.
I feel like they probably recorded that earlier in the evening and just showed us all after the fact. But yeah, I mean, continuing with Monday Night Raw, I think one of the most interesting parts was the Firefly Funhouse thing, the Muscle Man dance. What did you think about that? There's a lot of subliminals in this entire ordeal.
I was thinking that this is starting to get to another level of meta and fourth wall breaking here. It was always fourth wall breaking, but now it's to a point where like I might want to go back and listen to these a lot closer now, because it's seeming to me like they're very personal anecdotes, and I'm wondering how much input Bray has on these segments. I really thought that this one was probably one of my favorite ones since the first one.
Yeah.
It was great. I didn't know Bray could dance like that.
I mean, he had the moves, man. He had the moves like Vince and the Vince McMahon doll. My God.
And WWE knows a meme when they see it, because they meme the shit out of it immediately. They know the perception of Vince, and they were like, let's just run with it. Like that, I've seen the double Vince meme on so much shit this week, and I'm like, like WWE's like laughing at this. Like they know what they did with that. And also Huss the pig.
Huss the pig, man. This is crazy.
When do you think he debuts?
I don't know, man. That's a good question.
They've been doing this for like 2 months.
I don't know.
For 2 months.
I have no idea. Let's keep him off camera. I like it as a segment. It's a nice little break from the show.
Oh wow. He's gotta come back though.
But once he starts wrestling, it ruins everything, right? Like it it is what it is.
No, we'll see, bro.
Listen, I'm here on the WWE YouTube channel. Guess what is the most viewed thing on this Raw?
What?
Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. Arm wrestling content is at 6 million views.
Well, I mean, when you give the people what they want, that's what happens.
Dog, 6 million? It's been
That's what they want to see.
3 days. They're gonna keep doing this if it keeps in 6 million.
And people are gonna question why.
6
How
million.
how many likes does it have? How many likes does it have?
Let me see. I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
81,000 likes.
How many dislikes?
4,000 dislikes.
That's not even like a big enough margin for them to even stop doing shit like this.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep doing it. I mean, it wasn't even a bad segment though. I don't mind these types of segments on the shows.
No,
they've been around forever.
It was just to build up the match and et cetera.
I thought it was if anything, it was a fun show. I thought there was some fun stuff on the show. I didn't mind it. I stayed engaged throughout the whole thing.
It was interesting.
I probably would have made a stipulation for the Ricochet Cesaro thing, but whatever.
It is what it is. How do you feel about Undertaker coming out at 10:55 and like, all right, we're doing it, and then he gets cut off. I mean, he kind of gets cut off. They were like,
you know how I feel about Undertaker, bro.
That is
cut that bitch off, like the Spirit of Truth. Cut that bitch off. Put that sound clip in there.
Boom, easily.
That bitch off. I don't care.
Let's run over SmackDown.
Yeah, let's go to the Blue brand. This week's show, I might have been like delirious from sickness, but I didn't enjoy it at all. I thought this was probably one of the most below average SmackDowns.
It kind of seemed like the taped era, right?
Yeah, it just seemed like nothing of any consequence happened here.
Like Kofi and Ziggler come out with dueling video packages.
Yeah, who had those queued up? Maybe that's my job when I get employed. I'm the guy who queues up the videos.
Listen, Kofi Kingston came out like, listen, I went to Ghana, and then Dolph Ziggler comes out, was like, look at my career.
Hold on, before you continue. I'm not gonna lie, the Ghana stuff, I teared up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
It's incredible. I
teared up. I don't know if I'll make it through that when they put it out.
Fully. I hope they put out fully. I'm like, yo, y'all brought the good cameras, right? Like to make a story, like because
they brought the damn drone. They brought the drone.
That's good. All right, good. I expect to see it. I want the full thing on the network. I don't want this to be some YouTube, deal, some Twitter type of deals. Like, oh, he's going to Ghana. This is crazy. Huh? I want the entire video package. We got a Ronda Rousey thing for no particular reason. Ronda Rousey's been gone for months, trying to become a genetic jackhammer, and. And I'm just hoping the same thing for Kofi. But yeah, it was a beautiful moment. It was beautiful.
The opening segment led into a tag match between two more aimless people, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who at this point, if I was Kevin, I would have been like, I'm not ready to come back yet.
I don't know. Kevin was like, yo, how much more I got on this contract? How about that?
he just read up. He just up like 5 more years.
Oh, that's true.
So he's probably retiring here, honestly.
He probably like, you know what? It's whatever. I'll run with it.
Sammy has 2 more years, and I for sure think he's gonna dip. I don't get the feeling that Sammy like wants to wrestle anymore. I think that his nonprofit stuff like that means more to him, and that's dope.
That's dope. I feel like for that though, you still need the exposure. And the exposure will come with wrestling. I don't feel like he's done wrestling. I think his nonprofit thing is incredible, and it's definitely necessary. And especially once he eventually moves on, it's going to become a main sort of focus. But I do think like he's going to want to promote that by being in the ring and being on TV and et cetera, et cetera. Maybe just on his own time. I think he's AEW bound probably.
I don't know if he'll even fit there. If he does go there, he'll be Lenny Lane over there. He'll be Lodi.
Oh my god.
AEW. I mean, the solid tag team match again. Felt like a house show match. I didn't hate it. It just I mean, Alistair did. I mean, you tried to pour out some for Alistair last week. He does appear on the show again.
Yeah.
This week, it does seem that they have a direction for him, but I mean, he's not going to Saudi Arabia, so obviously he's not going to be on the show.
Yeah, I mean, there's always stomping grounds, right? Whatever that is. But we have a match currently for stomping grounds. I think
one match.
It is as of the result of this night. We had Alexa Bliss come over due to the wild card rule, et cetera, et cetera. Which ended up booking a triple threat match between Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and Charlotte Flair to determine the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship. God forbid we give it to someone on the SmackDown roster.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck Ember Moon, bro. What the fuck?
Right?
Who's that?
Ember Moon's out there ripping, muscle and fitness. You know what? This is weird. All right, so I got to say how inconsistent this sort of creative has been, because Monday Night Raw, we're like edging
Alexa's
towards...
a babyface. Alexa's a babyface.
We're edging towards that. And then on SmackDown, she's back as a heel. And it doesn't really make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
at all.
It doesn't, especially when you're going to have Alexa on SmackDown all the time because you got to promote this feud, or have Bayley on Raw, or whatever the fuck you want to do it.
And I'm guessing that Nikki's not going to come over with her on Tuesdays.
No, not at all. So, but then for the last 2 weeks also, they've had these interactions with the Iconics and Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss that could potentially have led to a tag match. And now it's like, all right, so where's Kabuki Warriors? Where's that thing going? Like, we haven't seen them in weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like, I think SmackDown gets it the worst because it's a shorter show.
Yeah.
And the creative's a lot less focused. I like where Alexa's going here, but then you go to SmackDown, it's like, let's just throw some shit. Like, I think we both see what this is. I think it's Bayley's redemption tour. Like, she obviously has to be Alexa because she looked like a fool against her 2 years ago.
Oh my God, that was still scars me to this day how she dog walked her.
Yeah, so like that obviously is a rehab match for her to build her to. I'm guessing Toronto when we're going to see Charlotte Bayley 18 or whatever. But it's perplexing. I think it'll be a solid match. I hope Alexa's ready, to go in the ring. Like, she's usually not even. She hasn't been in the ring in a long time.
Yeah,
but
this is her first real active match that she's had in a number of months.
But I didn't even really particularly care for the triple threat match. I just thought it was like regular. I think like Carmella could be doing way better. I think she should have her own storyline too.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of does. So they've been flirting with her in this the Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville thing, but they're also doing the Mandy Rose Sonya Deville thing with Ember Moon as well. So it's like
that's obviously going to be a team, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
But get Ember active, bro. Like, come on. Like, she came back with like no fanfare at Mania, and like.
Well, she's never really got going, right? Like, she came at the time. Unfortunately, she came at the same time that Ronda Rousey became a thing. She literally debuted around the same time that Ronda Rousey became a thing. So all the goodwill that she sort of established on NXT wasn't able to sort of carry over. So we've been in this perpetual state with Ember Moon. It's like, yo, that girl can go, and she deserves to be in a conversation. But she's never even been like featured on a pay-per-view in any sort of real big match or anything like that.
Except when she came in, she did beat Alexa. I think she had that feud with Nia, and then she got injured.
Yeah,
so I think that kind of fucked it up. But I wouldn't say she was doing bad on Raw. I thought she was doing a spectacular job.
I feel like she wasn't highlighted. That's how I feel like. I feel like we go through these entire. I mean, it's the whole Ronda Rousey thing, right? But I feel like considering the talent that you have, like, we could be highlighting her a lot more. I think it's a slow burn with her. But where does it go? Like, I just hope it's not something that just like we're in this perpetual state of like, okay, will they or won't they? They're talented as hell, but will we actually do something with them or not?
Get those fucking tag titles off of them, bro.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. Them tag titles might not have been a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I think it ain't it.
I said from the beginning, like, you have to sort of establish a division and you have to make it competitive. And I think they tried doing that over the last 18 months before they put the title. Like, they had the Riot Squad, they had, Absolution, they had a lot of other different things. They had female factions, female things like that, et cetera, et cetera. All this goodwill, especially once the titles became active, has seemingly gone out the window. Iconics are doing great. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan now. I'm a fan. It is what it is. I'm a fan.
But I mean, like, they lose all the time.
Yeah. But they're the longest tag team champions, but they lose all the time.
But also, what happened to Asuka and Kairi Sane? They were clearly the number one.
They were clearly there. They had a whole program and everything. I think they beat them multiple times.
Yes, they beat them multiple times. Singles matches.
And then nothing. So makes me wonder.
Now they can't even get on TV. It's crazy. Like SmackDown, like, of all the shows, got the shitty end of the stick here. Like,
with the wild card, yeah.
It has become, like, actively a less fun show to watch now that I'm going to see people I saw on Monday on the show too. Like, I really just would rather watch Raw, to be honest.
Andrade kicks Finn's butt.
Yeah, but you know, Demon don't lose. So
Demon don't lose, but we gotta make it look good.
Make Andrade look strong. That's cool.
On YouTube, they have Lars Sullivan promises to paint a painful masterpiece. I just want to highlight the words Lars Sullivan and painful in this promo that we got here, because it was the first time hearing him speak.
It was quiet. He's terrible. Like, I don't think, like, they've ever had, like, a monster heel. Just no one gives a fuck about him. Nobody cares. They wrote
such a weird promo for him because.
Do you think that, like, people in the crowd know that he's a racist?
Yeah, gotta know.
Do you think they know? Like,
yeah, I think so. I think so. He's not being booed vehemently because of it, but yeah, I think so.
It's just quiet. Like, it's like.
But, so here's the thing, though. Like, it's mainly because he's done all his... First of all, he hasn't really hurt anybody of any true significance. I think that's really kind of the first thing. He hasn't posed a major threat to anybody that people kind of care about on a level, at least consistently.
And that's the same reason why I would say, like, don't put Roman with him, because, like, I don't think Roman can make Braun magic happen with Lars.
But also, so they've been doing this thing where they let kind of his actions do the talking, and he's this freak, and he's disastrous, and all this other stuff. And then you kind of have him do this very long, wordy, thoughtful promo that kind of is like, it's so not his character.
It's also very serious. Serial killer-esque. Like, who wrote that shit?
Yeah, it's weird in terms of how this promo was written, because it turned out very serial killer-esque. I 100% agree. And then it was this very long, like, Kayla, you can say it. Like,
Kayla was gonna say, she was
Kayla,
gonna say the N-word.
You can say it. And I was like, Kayla, let him have it. And she was like, freak, that's right. Frick. And I'm just like, bruh, what is going on here?
It was painful to watch. I think people went to go get, like, popcorn and shit.
I gave up. I was like, okay, what are we doing here? And then, oh God, show ends. Goldberg comes out. Goldberg, who's like giant softy.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets in the ring, it looks like he's about to break down in tears.
Yeah, they love him.
Everyone loves Goldberg. Like, you kind of forget how popular he was because of the, like, decade and a half he wasn't there, but he comes back and he's immediately like, I have friends who haven't watched wrestling in a long time, and when they learned that Goldberg was coming back, they were like, okay, I'm tuning in.
Because, I don't care if they don't care for Saudi Arabia. They just say fuck it.
No, I don't think they're tuning in for the actual match, but they're like, oh, Goldberg's on TV. Oh, I gotta watch this. Like, I miss Goldberg. Like, how does he look? Oh, he looks great. He looks great, by the way. He looks great.
Yeah, I mean, you saw his workout last time? I'm pretty sure he did the same thing here.
Yeah, he's probably between workout 5 and 6 today.
Yeah. He's in Saudi Arabia now, so probably not.
Yeah, that's true. But he had him cut a promo. It's sort of a retort to Undertaker's promo on Monday.
It's a good promo too. I thought that it was intense. I think like what's really gone understated in his return is that like he actually can cut a really good promo. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, cut something that's just like just say something how you feel. Don't trip over your words, and make sure you end with who's next. And then Undertaker shows out. Brief little, gong man. That's me. And then he disappears.
Have you noticed that the WWE doesn't tag Undertaker's Instagram on anything?
Oh, they don't? Damn.
No. You know why? Because that shit is maggot out. That's why I'm not tagging that shit. It's like maggot shit on there.
I gotta look at this. Why
like Undertaker literally has like he's wearing shirts like these colors don't bleed shirts. Like they're not tagging that shit at all.
No, I guess it fucks up the money, right?
What his or theirs?
Everyone's.
Well, he don't even need the money. He's a fucking IG honey.
This is true. Oh, did you see his latest Instagram? Oh my god, he is posed up, man. Who's taking all these photos of him?
Michelle McCool.
She was on the latest craze for wrestling fans. I feel like every wrestling podcast goes through this era where they book WWE guests, but only one podcast can have a kind of WWE guest at a time. First it was Stone Cold, and then
now it's Lillian.
Yeah, then it was Jericho. Jericho by proxy of showing up every week, and it's like I think his second turn was legitimately so he could get more listeners on his podcast.
Yeah, he had everybody.
He got everybody just in the locker room, and now it's Lillian Garcia. She's the one with the scoops as of late.
She had Leo before he returned his home planet.
She got everybody, man. I mean, Chasing Glory by Lillian Garcia. It's a thing.
I've never like listened to like more than 5 minutes of it, but I mean, have fun. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
What if Undertaker did a TikTok video?
Ooh. Damn, that'll be trash.
That's what's coming next. Undertaker hitting the whoa is definitely about Undertaker hitting the whoa with a Lil Uzi. That's a rack is definitely.
Oh my god. Undertaker and Jamie Foxx, that's definitely happened. He's gonna
throw his fucking hip out doing that shit.
Oh my god, Jamie Foxx teaching Undertaker to whoa. That Jamie Foxx and Will Ferrell clip will forever have me dying. I'm sorry.
It's a hilarious fucking clip.
That's fucking hilarious. I mean that's the week in wrestling. We called it in the ring. We had no plan.
None. No plans at all.
But we did it nonetheless. This is episode 85 of the A Show. We also have the bonus episode, our decade show. It's
miraculously an hour before we recorded the show, finished uploading. Shout out to YouTube. Not always there when we call, but always on time, right? Yeah. Right.
But
we almost cried on Sunday.
I was pretty distraught about the thought of losing the show because I said a lot of great things. So, and I didn't want to say it again.
Yeah, it's an hour. You get another hour and 30 minutes of us.
Yeah.
After you listen to this, you can listen to our decade show. We're talking about Roman Reigns, Ronda Rousey, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, anything that you can think of on that show for an hour and 30 minutes is just us just straight talking
about the decade in professional wrestling, to be honest with you. So
yes, absolutely. But I mean, with that is a week in wrestling. Follow us at RNC Radio Live. You're going to see a lot of people upset at us this week over our albums and artist list.
We're also dropping today. As you see this, we'll drop myself, Justin, Cyrus, and Carlos best matches of the decade list. So feel free to argue with us on that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Mine's pretty safe, I think.
I think people respect everyone's opinions except mine. But
people are gonna say you're on payroll, bro.
Yeah, I wish. If they can will it into existence, I'm perfectly fine with that. To be honest with you,
please do. I can't imagine you in Connecticut wearing a suit every day.
Oh, I'm not doing the thing. I want to get me with Josiah doing all the.
You want to move to Orlando?
Yeah, get me doing all the cool stuff.
They still have to wear suits though, bro.
Mm.
Yeah,
I heard it's either suits or you wear tap out gear, and I'm perfectly fine with tap out.
I would never work there, but I would choose the suit. I just don't like wearing suits. I can't wear sneakers with that. Like I can't do that. Like I'd be like, Vince, like, what's up? You can't. What's going on?
Listen, I'm sure we'll make it happen somehow. But yeah, that is this week.
That's everything in RNC. Make sure you follow us at RNC Radio Live. Follow me at OGJohnny5 and Meals at Meals TV. And until next week, see you guys later.
My champion is still black, y'all.